Hello and welcome here to Talk SCP and welcome back to the channel here today, a day after the very difficult and very tough El Clasico draw. It felt like a loss on the day, and one of the key men who was sort of singled out after that game, not only in this game, the same sort of thing happened following our draw against Real Sociedad, was Andre Gomes. People seem to be very frustrated and very angry with Andre Gomes himself, and also with Luis Enrique for continually including Andre Gomes in the starting lineup. We're going to be taking a look in this video at basically what do we think is going wrong with Andre Gomes, why is he playing the way that he is he playing as bad as some people are making out, and whether there's light at the end of the tunnel for a player that did come in the summer for a lot of money from Valencia, but a player that is still only 23 years of age. Is it going to get better from here on in, or is this maybe not the right signing for us? We're going to be taking a look at all the possibilities of the current form that he is in and how that's impacted some of our performances of late. So first of all, like I just said there, Andre Gomes brought in the summer from Valencia. When he was brought in, there was a lot of excitement, particularly from myself. I watched him at Valencia. Particularly in the year that Valencia finished in the top four under Nuno Espirito Santo, he was outstanding. One of their best players, fantastically gifted on the ball. He chipped in with goals, assists. Everything seemed to revolve around him. He played very well in the games against Real, where I've seen him in the past playing for Valencia. Last season was a little bit hit and miss. You know, Andre Gomes showed quality, but not always consistent. And in the summer, we decided to sign him for a big fee in the end. It could rise to 50 million euros, which is obviously a lot of money. But right now, that fee is nowhere near 50 million. That includes add-ons, things like getting included on the Ballon d'Or shortlist, which at the moment certainly isn't happening. But what I'm basically saying is, he cost a lot of money. He came in the summer surrounded by quite a lot of hype, and he hasn't quite lived up to those expectations as of yet. He came in the summer after Portugal's European triumph. He was pretty decent in that run to the final and the subsequent victory that followed it. But what has Andre Gomes got to do to really flourish in Barcelona? Well, from the start, he wasn't really thrown in. He was one of those players who didn't have an awful lot of a long pre-season. The likes of Denis Suarez, Arda Turan were preferred in the lineups in the opening start of the season by Luis Enrique. Denis Suarez played alongside Iniesta and Rakitic in that opening period. Andre Gomes sort of joined up with the squad a little bit later. He was introduced a little bit later. It took him a while to start a game. But when he did it, he played decently in his first few games. He was a little bit slow off the mark. He had a very good game in the Champions League at home against Celtic when we destroyed them. He actually had a big hand in Lionel Messi's first goal in that game. Andre Gomes, though, since then has faltered. He's not really shown his potential. He's not really grown into the role. And I think there's a number of problems behind this. You can look at it and you can say, look, Andre Gomes, waste of money. We don't need him. Get rid of him now. But for me, I don't think you need to look like that. I think you need to look at the player that we signed, the quality that is there, the potential that is there at the age of 23. Can we get that out of him? And how can we get that out of him? You know, you spend a lot of money on these players. You can't just ship them back off. You've got to look for solutions. That's why Luis Enrique's paid a lot of money. That's why there's a lot of people throughout the club which have paid a lot of money. They've got to find the answers. And we're going to be looking right now what exactly is going wrong for Andre Gomes. And the first thing that I would point to is that Andrés Iniesta's injury came at the very much the wrong time for Gomes. Because you'd probably be saying, look, you know, this is great news for Gomes. Iniesta's injured. He's going to get a run in the chance now to try and show exactly what he can do. But right now, I don't think neither Denis Suarez or Andre Gomes are ready for that big step up. Neither of these players are anywhere near the level of Iniesta. You just saw the kind of influence that Iniesta had when he returned from injury yesterday. 6 weeks out injured he was, and he just waltzed back into that starting lineup like he'd never been away. He was phenomenal straight away from the off. These players are not at that level. And it's almost unfair that we're expecting them to come in and replace Iniesta. That is not easily done. Nobody in the world could step into that midfield and replace Andrés Iniesta. That's the first point. The expectation for me right now is too high on both these players. This goes for Gomes and Denis Suarez. Both of them are young players. Both of them have got a lot of adapting to do. And I think Andre Gomes even more so. At least Denis Suarez went through a sort of development phase with Barcelona B. The problem with Andre Gomes is this is a completely different style of him. He's not experienced this in his career so far. He's been here just a few months from Valencia. He needs time, and a lot of people say, look, he's paid enough money, we bought him for enough, he should be settling in straight away. That's very true. A lot of money was paid on him, but they still need the time. This is Barcelona. This is a different system. A lot of people as well are blaming the system. They're saying Luis Enrique doesn't include our midfield. So, Andre Gomes, Busquets, Rakitic, they're not to blame. It's all on Luis Enrique. That's false. There's nothing wrong with this system. This is the same system that we used during the treble-winning season. This is the same system that we used during the season where we won the double last season. It's the same system. There's nothing different. The only difference is Iniesta wasn't there. And in the same time that Iniesta wasn't there, Busquets suffered a very, very bad run of form. Rakitic hasn't been himself so far this season, and Andre Gomes and Denis Suarez have struggled to adapt. When all three of those players are suffering, it's not actually the system, it's those players that are having that little bit of a dip all at the same time, which made it look like we had no midfield. Yes, in some games we were stretched, it wasn't good enough, there was a fault not only on the coach's side, but everybody. We didn't play well enough, but the system in place, in principle, is fine, there's nothing wrong with it. But yesterday, we saw an improvement in our second half when Iniesta came on. When Iniesta came on, he had a positive impact on the entire team. Busquets, throughout El Clasico, was majestic, and there wasn't a change in the system. Busquets raised his game to where he usually is. That is Sergio Busquets. In the faces of the opposition, he was clever, he was cute, he played passes which destroyed Real Madrid's midfield. That is Sergio Busquets. Rakitic, again, wasn't quite good enough. He was taken off. Gomes played again. He wasn't quite at the level required. It's not the system, it's the players. They've got to raise their level. Busquets, for me, I think alongside Iniesta now, he'll get back to good form. He's been looking like for a few weeks now he's going to emerge again. I don't doubt him at all. Rakitic, I think, is surely going to bounce back soon, because surely, he is so key in the whole system, because he doesn't only cover the role of the centre midfielder, he's so key to protecting Sergio Roberto and linking those moves down the right-hand side, from Roberto to Messi. Rakitic is key in all of that, and when he's not on form, we suffer as well. And Gomes has had to come into this midfield where possibly Busquets wasn't at his best. Rakitic also wasn't helping out an awful lot in midfield, and Gomes is there like, well, I've just joined the club, and now I'm almost on my own in midfield. Nobody's really at that high level either, so I'm suffering. And I'm not making excuses for Andre Gomes. He himself will think, my first few months at the club are not as good as they could have been. I've not played to my potential. But what I want to say as well is the expectation needs to be lowered. This guy is not Iniesta. He's 23 years old. He's going to take time to adapt to the system. He's going to take time to adapt to the club in general, and the expectation and the pressures that come with it. But I want to see more from him. He is so much better than what we're seeing. I think we also need to sort of establish what exactly do we want Andre Gomes to be doing. Luis Enrique needs to make that absolutely clear. Is he going to be one of those players who's going to be more creative? Is he going to be the creative of the midfielders? Or is he going to be more like Rakitic, somebody who is more of a workhorse, if you like, in that midfield, who's going to attack and defend box to box? Is he going to link the play from defence and attack? Is he going to be more deeper in the Busquets type role? We've seen him play that role a few times, dropping in there as the defensive midfielder. Is he that kind of player? And I think Andre Gomes at the moment is just stuck in the middle a little bit. He doesn't know whether he's supposed to be the creative man, whether he's supposed to drop more deeper defensively, because this guy actually is a midfield that I look at in terms of his characteristics and the personality and the style of play that he has, and he looks absolutely match-made for Luis Enrique's system. He's 6'2", he's quite strong, he's quite tall, he's quite physical, and I just think, his quality on the ball, his touch, his technique, everything points towards being a very, very good player in Luis Enrique's system, but I'm just not sure right now if he knows exactly what he's supposed to be doing, and I think the return of Iniesta will help Gomes. He's not going to get as much playing time, but what he is going to be able to do is look at what Iniesta is doing, learn from him. You saw yesterday, Andre Gomes, when Iniesta came on, moved over to the right-hand side of midfield in Rakitic's position, and he played a lot better. He was a lot smoother on the ball. He was included in phases of the play. He was able to get forward a little bit more, all because that Iniesta was in there holding. He was the one dictating the tempo. He was the one controlling the game. So then Andre Gomes could go forward a little bit more. He could have a little bit more freedom because Iniesta was there controlling things and making sure everything was ticking over. Really, though, before Iniesta came back, Andre Gomes was in that midfield, flooding around, not really knowing what he was supposed to be doing. And I just think we need those players to sort of step up, be counted, and certainly understand their roles a lot more. And that's what you need time for. That is the adaptation process that comes with joining Barcelona. Everybody knows our style. Luis Enrique, despite what people are saying, has not changed it that drastically. We still play possession football. We still dominate possession in 9 out of 10 games every single time. We still enjoy, the quick phases of passing in and around the midfield areas. We saw that in the second half yesterday. The only difference really since Luis Enrique has come in is that he wants that ball from defence to the front three as quick as possible. Sometimes it'll bypass the midfield, but most of the time you're going through Sergio Busquets and Iniesta. That's the whole key. You go through those and you try and and get the counters going. You get it to Messi, Suarez and Neymar as quick as you possibly can. That's the only thing that's changed, because right now, no more do we have Xavi, Iniesta. That doesn't work anymore. Xavi's retired. So Luis Enrique's looked at what he's got. He's got a fantastic front three, so he's basing his play around those three. We got to get the ball to them, and it's Andre Gomes' job to get that ball, receive it, and give it. And the other problem I have with Gomes right now is the fact that he's not quite brave enough. In some situations yesterday, every single time we wanted to take the easy pass, the easy way out, give it to Jordi Alba, drop it back to Busquets. He's got to be the man that says, look, I'm here now, I'm going to announce myself, I'm a Barcelona player, I'm going to play that forward pass, I'm going to take a risk. You have to take a risk in order to become the greats. You've got to take that risk and really try and push yourself to be the best player you can be. It's no good playing that easy pass all the time. It simply won't work out for you. You're going to get bypassed in games, you're not going to get noticed. He needs to start doing the things that we saw at Valencia week in, week out, and get that consistency going. But what I will say about Andre Gomes is, like I keep saying, is the potential is there. The guy who signs the players, Roberto Fernandez, the sporting director of Barcelona, isn't blind. He's got a very, very strict process when he looks for players. And like I say, the characteristics of Andre Gomes do suit Luis Enrique's style, but we just need to get the best out of him. Iniesta returning will give him a little bit of a breather. It'll take the pressure off him a little bit. We may well see Andre Gomes in the midfield against Mönchengladbach in the week. That may give him a little bit more confidence. But in terms of appearances so far, he's made 3 appearances in the Champions League, 1 as a substitute. He's made 5 starts in La Liga, 5 of them coming off the bench as well, so 10 appearances in all. But in terms of Andre Gomes' performances, he averages about 54 minutes per game when he's introduced, so he's not really getting long periods to show what he can do. I don't think yesterday in the Clásico he was disastrous. I think at times he wasn't quite as good as he could be. He didn't really make the impact that we needed. But like I say, when Iniesta came on the short spell, they were on the pitch together, Gomes did look a bit more comfortable and a little more in control when he had Iniesta alongside him, guiding things and being that maestro that he is. So Iniesta's return will help everyone. I think Denis Suarez needs to get more chances in midfield. I think Rafinha needs to get more chances as well. I was very, very surprised that he was left out of the squad yesterday, but I do feel that may have been down to an injury. Otherwise, it would be a big, big surprise for him to be left out. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys. I know a lot of people are very, very negative about Andre Gomes, and like I say, don't get me wrong, he's not been good enough. There needs to be more, but I still do believe deep down, somewhere in there, there is a player that Luis Enrique himself has got to work hard on. He's got to get the best out of him. He's got to make it absolutely clear what his role is, and Andre Gomes himself has got to start taking those risks. He's got to start being brave and believing in himself that he's a Barcelona player. Grab that opportunity, take that chance, and it may well work out for you. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Very, very happy to speak to you today. Very, very disappointed in the result yesterday. Big game on Wednesday, not in terms of the Champions League. We're already top of our group. We got to get that momentum going. We got to start winning games, building the confidence again, and then on Saturday morning, I think it is, we go away to Osasuna as we try to get back that gap in La Liga between us and Real Madrid. So here, interested in your thoughts, guys. I'll see you very, very soon. But until then, as always, Vesca, el Barça.